This was the first imperial princess to be sent to the guillotine, yet her fate inspired no sympathy. A single meal of hers cost what an ordinary person earned in a month, and she lashed out at servants with constant blame. When a devastating famine struck, leaving countless people to starve, she only laughed upon hearing the news, then returned to her lavish lifestyle. Egged on by neighboring nations, the people rose in rebellion. The capital burned, and the imperial princess was captured. She was thrown into a filthy, dark dungeon for 3 years, no baths allowed, fed only rotten vegetables and moldy bread, subjected to the soldiers' open contempt. After enduring 3 years of suffering, she was finally led to the guillotine. It was a freezing day, and the square below seethed with angry crowds denouncing her. They spat the nickname the spoiled princess and chanted, "Chop her head off." Her feet, bare of shoes, were red and numb from the cold. She made no resistance as the blade fell, blood splattered across the diary she'd kept for 8 years. But the story didn't end there. Time reversed. The princess jolted upright, realizing she'd been hurled back 8 years. At first, she thought it was a nightmare until she saw the blood-stained diary, its pages filled with daily entries proving every horror had been real. Having survived 3 years on spoiled scraps, she now wept with joy at tasting even her once despised foods, terrifying the chef, who feared he'd made something inedible. Her strange reactions left her handmaidens dumbfounded. Next, a maid delivering cake tripped over a pebble and crashed into the dessert, ruining it entirely. In the past, the princess would have flown into a rage and kicked the maid. But now, instead of punishment, she promoted the red-haired maid to her personal attendant. For in those 3 years in the dungeon, no one had visited except this red-haired girl, who'd tended to her until the very end. On the day of her execution, the girl had even come to comb her hair. In that hellish ordeal, the red-haired maid had been her only light. Determined to understand her people's lives, the princess asked the red-haired maid to buy ordinary food. She was determined to step into her people's world, to never again speak foolishly or act recklessly. The diary spelled out her fate. 8 years from now, the guillotine awaited. To escape that horror, she needed to change, but she knew nothing of politics or economics. Even with foreknowledge of the future, altering her destiny would be no easy task.